right. Um, so we're just gonna have a conversation, right? We're just gonna have a talk, all right? Because I'm like, wait, I just got a few thoughts about about what's going on, with these leaks and stuff like that. I just want to put this on screen because I think this is pretty cool. If you guys ever read the Mortal Kombat comics from the 90s, so good, right? The Blood and Thunder Battle Wave series, the massive thick book that was dedicated just to Goro. We had Tournament 1 and 2 editions. We had separate stories for, there was a Katana and Mileena combo. There was Kung Lao. There was Baraka, which was actually really good. And there was I think from memory, a 3-part Kano. And there's a few more in there as well. And they were brilliant. And it's one of the things that I loved, especially with old school Mortal Kombat, is that it felt like it wasn't sacrificing the games for whatever time period we're in. It was just adding more to it. Right? Now, if we are going back in time, right, and if the leaks are true, I've covered this in my last video, Mortal Kombat Trinity. Is this Mortal Kombat 12? Maybe the name isn't that, but some of the stuff I mentioned seems to be starting to add up, which is, a storyline that's both in the past and the present. We see the ending of Liu Kang, right, talking to the original Great Kung Lao, which you can see right here on screen, right? And he, he was awesome, but he also fell to Goro, right? So if we're going back, a couple of issues is I don't want to call it Mortal Kombat 1, right? Because then it starts to create confusion, because then you got to go, is it Mortal Kombat 1 or are you talking about Mortal Kombat OG? Like, this is where it sort of gets, I don't know. They should call it something, I think somebody said, call it Mortal Kombat Genesis or something like that, right? Which I think would be a far, far better name. Mortal Kombat New Era, Mortal Kombat Dawn of Time, or right? Mortal Kombat The Beginning, Hell, if you look at half the Mugen projects I cover, they come up with far more inventive names, right? So I'm curious about, so please don't call it MK1. You're just gonna create confusion. Look at what happened with the Xbox. Look what happened with that, where they called it Xbox One. Now people have to say, oh, is it the original Xbox or is it Xbox? You know what I mean? It's just silly. There are some things you just can't rebrand like that. We were lucky with MK calling it Mortal Kombat in the 2011, which is essentially Mortal Kombat 9 in the series, because that kind of fit. But it was just called Mortal Kombat. I didn't really notice a lot of confusion with people talking about it, and that could be because enough time's passed. But if you start calling it Mortal Kombat 1, signifying an actual numerical value to it, there are then going to be 2 numerical games that are going to sound the same, right? So that kind of bugs me if they do that. And that's why I just did a mock-up in the thumbnail just to muck around with. That's what I do. Now, and again, I would love to have a massive roster, right? One of the wonderful things, I guess, with this particular storyline, right, is that if we do go back, we're going back to the past where we're going to be seeing stuff we've never seen in-game before. And that's going to be really exciting. like really exciting, right? If you guys again have read the comics, there is. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. Sing and Sang. Because I want to show you who I'm referencing, right? So this character, and keep in mind, like, this character could be crazy fun if they made a character like this. Just like thinking about the possibilities of what they could do would just be silly in a good way, right? So this character here, right? You got the two brothers, okay? Sing and Sang, and then when they combine, which is, I guess, their power. What is their power? They're called Siang, right? Now, if you go back and read those 95 comics, there are a few characters that actually show up that you've never heard of before, like Hydro. Now, Hydro is showcased in Mortal Kombat Mugen projects, because massive fans of MK, especially from back then, know who Hydro is. Siang is another one. Sing and Sang, right? So that could almost be like a Noob Smoke combo from Deception, where, you know, you can swap between the two characters on the fly, right? Now, this isn't a rumor, and I think I talked about it before, but if they do decide to do things like different stances or whatever, you know, styles, then make it swap on the fly, right? Don't make us choose stuff that's crap. So, if we're going back to the past, from what it appears that Liu Kang has done in the ending of MK11 with the Great Kung Lao, that could be amazing, right? Because you've got to remember that, like, Edenian characters like thousands of years old, so we're going to be seeing still Kitana and that, younger versions, though. Not super younger, but, like, younger. We might see even things like how Edenia was invaded by Shao Kahn. That'd be pretty cool, right? I'd like to lean into a lot of the other realms as well. I think that'd be pretty cool. I just wish we could get a Deception Conquest mode, or like the whole three, the Dadas, what I call them, Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon, Dada, right? I'd love to see them like HD remaster, because then at the very least, you know, just like I've done a video on it, just increase the resolution, everything's nice and smooth, look beautiful. We don't need new graphics, just modern day, let's play online and whatever. Achievements, you know, that sort of thing. But as far as like this is the weird part, eh? Like, it's really strange. It is really strange, you know, seeing like where this could go. Right, again, I won't be keen on the name if they call it that, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind, you know, like there being a, you know, like a sort of like rather numerical name, you know, an actual name for it, Mortal Kombat Genesis or something. But as far as like the story, like, it could be interesting. It could be very interesting. We're going all the way back. And if we're going all the way back, you know what that means? We're going to see some early history of the Lin Kuei, the Shiro Ryu. You know, we might see just even some of the formations of those clans, perhaps. Who knows? The Red Dragon, the Black Dragon, perhaps. You know, how they came. So there could actually be a lot of story here that they can pull from to do this game, which means that we will get obviously characters from that era. But again, I would love to see like a massive roster of if the rumor from what I covered in my last video is true, right? I wouldn't mind seeing what do you call it? What was I going to say? What was it? I'm just having brain fart. I've got so many thoughts running through my head with this thing. Yeah, so the leaked rumor also talked about, I think it was taking the characters from MK9 all the way up, right? So you could take that massive roster and then essentially go back to the future, past, whatever. Get what I'm saying, right? So yeah. So I wouldn't mind if they created essentially like an Armageddon 2.0 with this. And the storyline would obviously be, maybe the fact of, information that Liu Kang is able to train the Great Kung Lao so that he won't fall to Goro. But then that would also create time anomaly issues, which, again, time stuff is always it's a fickle beast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they've done this a couple of times already, and so, unfortunately, it then becomes a very easy crutch to lean on when it comes to storytelling, because then you can go, time travel. No one really dies, time travel, right? So that would be sort of, I guess a major issue. Interesting, right? About what else they could sort of delve into, Elder Gods, all sorts of stuff, if they do go back this far. But my hope would be that, I wonder if somebody at the office is just, picked these comics up one day and gone, for real? These are awesome. Like, let's make our next game built around this. Let's create, let's go all the way back. How does the first, that's the interesting part too. How does the first tournament come about? What is the creation of Mortal Kombat? I understand if they do call it Mortal Kombat 1, even though I hate the name, because it's the first tournament, right? So we're going to see the build-up, we're going to see the creation of it, how they came to creating this essentially this, cosmic fisticuffs battle to determine the fate of realms, right? Why there are certain rules in place, like why does Earthrealm have to only defend themselves against, say, Outworld or other realms, or them, being able to invade. I know there's like a certain amount of times they got to win before they can do it. So it's interesting. It's interesting that, yeah, this could be good. This could be really good story-wise if they go down this path, right? If they go down this path and sort of lean into the storylines that we saw in the comics, and go all the way back to seeing some of the creations of these things that we've never seen before in a Mortal Kombat game. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.